talking yet, Narayan?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming. This is the second day of the session on talking about, today we're going to talk about competing in an online contest. Thank you for everybody who came. Please make sure you are muted unless you need to speak for some reason. Otherwise, what ends up happening is your background noise ends up disrupting not only the other people's listening, but it also disrupts the recording, since we are recording this event so that people who cannot attend today can also be able to watch the video later. So some of you who were here yesterday, I thank you for coming today as well. And we will get started and we will go on as we talk about how to compete in an online contest. First step, before the contest happens, the contestant briefing will be conducted a day or two before the contest as a separate Zoom meeting. The contest Toastmaster should conduct the meeting as a separate meeting so that they can do the contestant briefing and they can also draw for position and everything else. One little caveat for today is that people who are competing in the Area 61, 64 contest on Saturday morning, this is your briefing. So we will conduct a contestant briefing today, even though it might not be conducted by the contest master. The contest master will then draw for position on Saturday morning. One of the things you should ensure that you get is that you get your contestant's eligibility and originality form and the speaker's bio form from the contest master electronically, or you may as well download it from the district website. And the way to download it from the district website is this picture to the right of this, which basically shows when you go to the district website at tmd29.org and you go down to events, come down to contest, and you click on contest kits, you're going to end up with this particular piece of, on the website, you will see this table which gives you all the different contest kits that you can download. I would like you to go click on the, if you're competing in the international contest, click on the international speech contest kit. Or if you're competing in the Tall Tales, go click on the Tall Tales speech contest kit, and you will be taken to the appropriate Toastmasters page. And the Toastmasters page will look like what it shows on the right. It will say it is the International Speech Contest Kit, and then you'll have a list of available downloads. But I would like you to click right here where it says here. So click there, click on that place where it says here, and you'll be taken to a digital download page for the International Speech Contest. And then you click on the download button, which will take you, which will download a zip file which will contain all of the forms that you need for the contest. And once that is downloaded, I would like you to download file number 1189, which is the contestant's bio file, or 1183, which is the speaker certification of eligibility and originality. I would like you to download those two forms, fill them in either electronically or fill them in on a piece of paper, and then either scan them and send them to your contest master, or you can even take a picture on your phone and send the picture to the contest master. Contestants should download the appropriate forms.
I have a question real quick.
Yes.
It said it's $11. Do we have to pay the $11 to get to those forms?
No, you don't have to. The digital is free as long as you're logged in as yourself. Digital is free.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And what were the two forms again? I'm sorry.
The two forms that you need to are the contestant's bio file, which is called 1189 contestant bio, and 1183 speaker certification.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
And Naraya?
Yes.
All of them have already been emailed, the forms.
Yeah, Kimberly, I was just going to say thanks. Yeah. For the Area 61, 64 contest, all of them has already been emailed to you. So make sure that if you're a contestant in the Area 61 or 64 contest on Saturday, that you have received it. This is just in case if you haven't received it, you can basically look at that and send it as well. Okay.
So
right.
This is Ekyong.
Hi, Ekyong.
Hi, I just want to confirm that Kimberly just answered my question. So for the district conference, do I need to send a reminder or should I
Yes.
just send a form to them?
For the district, you should probably send a reminder in the form. And Akyong, for the district contest level, we are not there yet. You and I can have a long contest conversation offline if you want to do that as well. So yes, that's basically what you need to do.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Oh, all right, thanks. What you want to do is you want to make sure that on the day of the contest, you dial into the Zoom meeting at least 30 minutes before the actual contest. This is because it will help you figure out that your equipment is working fine and your computer is fine. And here's one of those things, that weird things that happens. Sometimes your laptop needs to do an update, or your antivirus needs to do a scan or something like that. You don't want all of those things coming in your way. So you want to make sure that you check the updates, make sure that you've done all your required updates. Especially if you're a contestant, try not to attend by a smartphone, because first of all, the smartphone version of the Zoom does not have many of the features of the laptop version. And you don't want to be holding the phone in front of you while you're competing in a contest. So just make sure that you do that. And if you're not sure whether your computer or your laptop or your desktop is capable of running Zoom or not, if you're able to attend this meeting and watch the video and see the gallery and everything, your computer does have the requirements. But you can always check in you can click on the support zoom.us link that you can go over there and click on that as well.
Hi,
One of the
Narayana.
things, yes.
Yes. So, is using the iPad okay?
I lost your whatever you were saying.
Okay, my question is, iPad okay?
Say that again.
Using the iPad, is it okay? Can you hear me?
Yes, you can use the iPad as long as you have it, you practice with it so that you can see yourself and it's not looking up your nose.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Hello, Narayan. Hello, everyone.
Volume, so I just need to
Make sure I got my volume back. So this is
Hi,
something
Narayan.
that you got to be making sure that we doesn't happen to us, because once again my volume just went off.
Hi, Narayan. How are you? Hello. Hello, Narayan.
He's still working on it, Dutch. Give him a second.
Okay, that website that you all were on, I just logged on. Where do I go? I'm on the Toastmasters website now. Where do I go to download the International Speech Contest info?
not the Toastmaster website, TMD29. TMD29.org, not the Toastmaster website.
Thank you.
Yeah. You have to go to the TMD29 website, and then I will go back again just to let you know. You have to go to the TMD29 website and click on events, contests, and go down to contest kits, and click on the International Speech Contest Kit, and that'll take you to the Toastmasters International webpage. Then click on the little icon that says International Digital Version is available here. Click on that, and then it'll take you to the International Contest download, where you can then download the speaker certification and the contestant bio, and send that to your contest master.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Dutch. Check that you know how to mute your audio and stop your video. One of the things that I was telling you, and I just found out that my headset that I was using it lost its charge. So make sure that I was using a wireless headset, you want to make sure that you don't lose the charge. So I had a wireless headset on, and this headset ended up losing the charge. So make sure that all those things are ready when you're competing. One of the things you really need to know is about muting your audio and video during the Zoom meaning especially if you're not one of the speakers, if you're just the audience member, or if you're a judge, or if you're a timer or anything else, you want to know how to mute and unmute yourself and how to start and stop your video. When you have you on the screen, when you move your cursor at any time, it should bring you the Zoom screen controls. And in the bottom left, you will see the microphone button, which you can mute or unmute, and you'll have the video camera icon, which you can click on and off to make sure that your video is on or off as well. One of the other things that you want to know is if you're a contestant, you might want to pin the timer via the contestant or the timer's video on your screen so that when the contestant is speaking, you only see the contestant's video and not everybody else who got up to play with their dog or their cat or something that actually shows the movement on the screen. You want to make sure that you pin the speaker's video. One of the ways to do that is to make sure that you're not in gallery view, but in speaker view. Or the best way to pin somebody, for example, if you move the cursor to my speaking face on the gallery view, and you'll see a little 3 dots on the top. And if you click on those 3 dots, you will be able to pin my video. Once you pin my video, then only my video will stay up front regardless of who else is speaking. And then when I'm done speaking, you can unpin me, and then you can go back and pin the next speaker. And especially if you're a contestant, you want to pin the video of the timer, because the timer is going to show you the timing cards when the appropriate time happens. And because of that, that's where you have to go. It is on the top right. I mistakenly said something else. You have to move the cursor to the top right of my video on the gallery view.
Ryan, I have
Yes.
picked myself, so I'm playing timer at the moment.
Okay, so I will pin your video so I can then see only your video on my screen. And then as I go along, then when you change the timing card, I will be able to see only your video that will let me know what the time is. So that's basically one of the things you might want to practice now, to pin and unpin somebody's video so that you know whose video is playing. And of course, it's because I'm sharing my screen, you're going to see the pinned video on the right or on the left, wherever your video is. But when somebody is not sharing the screen, their webcam will become the dominant webcam on your screen. One of the things.
Ryan, I have
Yes.
a question. Okay, so when I look at your video and it's in small form,
Right.
it's the video is pretty good, but when I pinned your video and it took up my entire screen, your face became kind of fuzzy.
Well, that's because of my background. If I take off my background and then you now do it, it won't be fuzzy anymore.
Okay, let me try that, because I'm just thinking that as well, no, you're still a little fuzzy.
Well, I don't know about the resolution on your monitor. Yeah.
Me neither, but I don't really want to be fuzzy when I'm speaking.
Well, no, it all depends on everybody else's resolution on their laptops. I'm pretty sure I'm not. Am I showing up as fuzzy in other people's videos? I'm not. Probably not.
No, you're good on mine.
No, she looks
You
fine.
look fine, Karen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine
So
on
basically, it might be something to do with the local issue as well. So anyway.
Oh, and somebody said I'm not fuzzy, so thank you.
Yeah, you're not fuzzy. You're just showing just fine on my screen as well. Toastmaster talks about the speaking area, because in the face-to-face contest, the speaking area can be very specifically delineated for every single contestant. But in an online contest, the speaking area is not really delineatable. So essentially, the Toastmaster guidance is you have to have the speaking area big enough so we can see your facial expressions and your gestures. So for example, when you see on the left-hand side here, Aaron Beverly's whoever that is, that somebody's, I'm going to mute all again. Somebody is making noise in the back, and I don't want to have that noise show up on my, on the recording as well. And anyway, this is the proper way of doing the speaking area. So you can see the speaker, can see their face when they smile and when they move their gestures and so on. That would be a good idea of a speaking area. And you would also see that on the right hand side, this is one of the area contests held in Washington State from District 2 that I attended. These were 3 different contestants in the area contest. As you can see, one contestant decided to stand a little bit ways away from the webcam, and he was using wireless headsets. And the second contestant in the middle, he actually gave a speech sitting down. And then he only stood up for the end of his speech. And the third contestant in the bottom, the lady in the bottom, that's how she gave her speech. And she had some audio issues during her speech, but she ended up winning in the end of the contest as well. So practice with all those different, so frame from the waist up above. So essentially, that's where you have to do. I have a 3-minute video that I found today on YouTube that seems to encompass everything that you should think about looking good on a webcam. So I'm just going to play this right now, how to look good on a webcam.
Most videos on a webcam look pretty bad. In this video, I'm going to give you 10 ways, that's 5 though, 10 ways to make your webcam videos actually look pretty good. Step 1, have the webcam actually be eye level with you. Instead of looking over it and hunching over your laptop or having it on top of a huge monitor and it's looking down on you and you're really tiny, put it at eye level. Number 2, watch out for angles behind you. This is something that can happen if that webcam is a little bit higher than eye level. You'll get strange lines in different directions behind you, and you definitely don't want that. Number 3, don't shoot with the window directly behind you. Put the window in front of you instead. You'll get better lighting, and you won't look like this really dark creature coming out of this bright light. Number 4, don't be afraid to set up some lights. You can get these cheap little LED lights for under $100, and you could set up a couple of those, or if you have better lights, use those as well. Another alternative is to open Photoshop or some other image app and just have a completely white screen on your computer and have that light you a little bit. Next up, ditch that built-in green light. Go for a dedicated external webcam like the Logitech C920. You'll get a better image quality, and you'll have more options over controlling it. Number 6, use a settings app for more control over your webcam. There's a program called Eyeglasses on the Mac, and there's also a program called Logitech Camera Settings. In those, I would lock down exposure, white balance, and focus. Number 7, don't use the built-in mic on the webcam or on your laptop. Get something external like a USB microphone, maybe an XLR podcasting mic you have. Anything else is better than the built-in microphones on webcams. Number 8, use a more interesting background. Instead of that blank wall behind you, move the camera around a little bit. You can put it on top of a mic stand with this, the CM01 from OnStage Stands, or put it on top of a tripod and move that off of your desk. Number 9, look into the camera. I know you want to look at the person you're talking to, but if the entire time you're like this and they're just gradually looking at more and more of your forehead, that's just going to be strange, especially if it's a video interview or something like that. So look directly into the webcam, see the other people through your peripheral vision, but it's going to make more sense to them when they look at you when you're looking directly into their eyes. And finally, number 10, record using the best webcam app you have on your computer. On a Mac, QuickTime can record at 1080p. Something like ScreenFlow, usually at around 720p. If you're recording directly into something like Photo Booth, that's only at 480p. So make sure when you're recording on a webcam into your computer, you're using the best possible app to record the best resolution that you can get with your camera. Thanks for watching the inaugural episode of DIY Video Guy TV, and I'm excited to be making more of these. I got my studio set up, and I'll be making...
Anyway, recording, he just brought up recording, so I just want to let you know that if you want your speech recorded, you are going to be given a chance to record your speech and only your speech, but you need to let the chief judge or the area director know that you want your speech recorded. And what will happen is the host will allow you to record just your speech from whatever webcam or whatever you're using. and then you can hit record while you speak. And then when you're done, that privilege will be taken away, so you are not recording everybody's speech. We will not be recording the contest. So I just want to reiterate this. We will not record the contest. We're not going to keep records of this. But if you want to, for example, for your own betterment, you want to have your speech contest performance recorded, then you basically want to make sure that you let the people know, so that at the appropriate time, you will be allowed to record your own webcam. Otherwise, the host will not remember to turn on the recording capability for you. Any questions so far? A lot of what he said, like buy your own USB mic and buy your camera and so on, is good practice, but especially if you're competing on Saturday and you don't have the wherewithal or something like that, or you don't want to do it, then I would recommend, using what you have right now for the contest. But if you have external recording devices and so on, feel free to use that. There is nothing in the rules that says that everybody has to have the exact same equipment.
Narayan?
Yes.
Question, Dave Kirsten here.
Hi, Dave.
Are we going to have some sort of rule setting as far as what cameras we can use?
No,
using our laptop or
there is no such rule setting. I was going to say, the Toastmasters has an online speech contest rule exception document that they put out, and let me see if I can share it at this point so that I can show you where it is.
Because my concern is consistency between the contestants.
Making
if
one of these videos.
That consistency is going to be an issue, but again, that is not something Toastmasters is talking about. So I would like to reiterate that once again, that Toastmasters is not it's not telling us you should or should not use that. So let me show you the document that we have. That is, if I can get my computer to. They have an online speech contest exception. In the online speech contest exception, these are the rules of the document, and this document is on the district website. This basically talks about that they just test their technology and they practice. It is not saying that everybody must have the same kind of technology. Everybody must have the same kind of webcams. There is no such requirement, and I would not impose that at this point on our Toastmasters.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
How do I know before I start giving my speech that you can see me and that you can hear me?
That's why you come in half an hour before the, in fact, what we are planning to do is that every contest will, as much as possible, have a dry run the day before the contest. So you can actually come in, the contest master will say, hello, here's the contestant number one, and you kind of test out your speech, just like, at the district conference, you would be given time to practice with the microphones and so on. Here you have the chance to practice with your own webcam and microphone, and the contest master can give you feedback to let you know that, yes, we can hear you, yes, we can see you. And at the same time, you can record yourself so you can see what you look like.
Thank you.
And that's the way that it will be held.
Thank you.
So contestant preparation, you want to make sure that you are practicing in the best room that is possible for you. So make sure that you have the right bandwidth, the right wireless, and so on. You have the space to present, so you have a close-up or full body movement, and so on. Info on how the timing cards will be presented and how to pin the timer. We just talked about that. The contest chair must have your bios and eligibility forms. And then what will happen if the Zoom fails during the contest, and what happens if Zoom fails for just one contestant. One of the rules states that if the Zoom basically fails for everybody or something like that, the chief judge has the authority to declare the contest null and void and set up a new date and time for the contest. But if it only fails for one contestant or something like that, then the chief judge can call a pause for the contest, make sure that whatever technology issues were handled, then the contestant continues from the place when they lost technology. And they will get a 30-second extra time to brief on that. This is basically what the Toastmaster rules now say, that if technology fails and the chief judge determines that the contest can no longer continue due to a lack of technology or contestants or whatever, the contest will be reconvened at a later date or time. And if the technology fails and only one contestant is impacted, the chief judge should pause the contest until the technology issue is resolved. And the contestant should resume their speech at the point which the technology failed and will be allowed 30 seconds extra overtime before being disqualified. So those are the rules at this point for our contest technologies. I've been seeing a lot of questions come and go on the chat. I haven't had a chance to read everybody's contest rules here at the same time. Does the contestant prepare and record her video speech, then show it during the day? No, it has to be a live performance. You cannot play a recorded speech. There will not be a way to play a recorded speech. Area 21 is not competing this weekend. No, Area 21 is not competing. This weekend, we are only having the Area 61 and 64 contest because they have taken on to be the guinea pig, so to speak, and test the whole online contest technology. And once we have learned the lessons from that on Saturday morning, all other area directors and division directors have been asked to reschedule their contest and let you know when the dates will be for the new dates for the area contest. Our ultimate goal is to complete all the area contests such that the division contest dates are held as much as possible, so that we want to make sure that we get area contests done ahead of time. And we're going to be coming to a capability where we can have multiple area contests, multiple Zoom meetings going on at the same time, so that people can then attend all the different area contests that they want to, so we can get the area contests done. And then once the division contest dates come, we will be able to keep the dates that were originally set up for it. Is there any change from TI that allows contestants to compete if they already competed in another area, but that district is no longer holding competitions? That's an interesting question. I will have to get back to you on that, because this is a unique situation where if they're competed in a club in an area from District 27, and now District 27 is not holding any further contests, are they eligible? I don't know. I do not know the answer to that, and I will get back to you on that. Somebody else asked, how can you view other area contests? Every single area contest will be a link on the district calendar, so that anytime if you know the area contest date and time and you are available, you should be able to just click on the link and be able to join that area contest as an audience member. I saw practice speeches without Bluetooth and it was fine. Absolutely. You can actually speak without Bluetooth, and if that's fine, you can do that too. Andrea Reed says, what does the headset do? The headset transmits as a stronger connection between your voice and the laptop, so you can actually stand up and move away from the camera, so you can actually your gestures and things can be seen instead of having to sit. And then because I am now tethered by this, because it's a wired headset, I can only go about this far. So wireless headset might be a good thing to do as well. Michelle Sempier said District 27 is just having international speech contest. Yeah, I did know that. So if you were part of the other contest and it's not going further as well. Any further questions that people feel you want to ask before I get into this contest briefing for the Area 61-64 contest?
I have a quick question for you.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay. So
Yes.
can we use the phone audio?
The phone audio for what?
When we're having our speech contest.
You can use the phone audio, like you mean dialing in from the phone and
Yes.
using the, yes, yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
whatever microphone you're using to come in, that is fine. I mean,
Okay.
if you
thank
use the phone like this and you're going to give your speech that way, you know, you're allowed to give the speech. Technically, there is no requirement that you shouldn't. But again, you know, I don't know how effective you would be if you have to do that. So,
Okay. Thank you.
all right. Any other questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes. Hi, Nicola.
Hi, how are you? Can we use backgrounds like you have?
I don't see why not. In fact, one of the things that I would say, recommend is that you use a background, especially if your background is distracting. But you know, be careful what you pick. Like
How do you do it though?
I can pick a background that you know, it's just basically white, but you can see there's a little bit of distortion in my back as well. How do you change that? Is basically when you're in the Zoom and you look at the Zoom controls on the bottom of your screen where it says stop video. There's a little a caret right to the right of that, and if you click on that, you will get a option to choose a virtual background. Do you see that?
Yeah, I can see it. I'm just looking at it. It's muted.
Yeah, yeah, and then you can pick a file from your computer, and then it'll automatically put that in your background. That's a way to change your virtual background. I can change the background from that to I can go, okay, hey, district website, or I can go to the moon, or I can go have a Toastmaster background. I can do all of those different things. Or if I say none, then it just shows my real background. So you have to practice with that. Eva Kang has raised your hand. Eva, go ahead. Eva, did you raise your hand? Let me unmute. Yeah, you're unmuted. Go ahead, Eva. Did you have a question?
Yes. Can you
Go
hear
ahead.
me?
Yes.
Oh, how do I get how can you see me? I can see you. Why didn't you?
Have you turned on your video?
Oh, that's where I'm missing it. Where do I do that?
If you move your cursor, you should see a band in the bottom of your screen that basically shows how to mute your microphone, how to start and stop video, and manage participants and so on. Do you see that? How are you dialing? Are you dialing in from on a phone or on a computer?
I connecting with giving the meeting code, so I am able to connect with you.
Yeah, but are you connecting you on a smartphone, or are you connecting on a
on
laptop?
my Mac machine?
In your Mac machine, can you see my face?
Yes, I do. I see you. I see Alpha and everybody.
If you move the cursor, you should see a bunch of controls that come in the bottom of your screen.
Can you be a little louder?
If you move the cursor, raise the volume on your computer, Eva.
Okay, sure.
And then when you move the cursor on the screen where you see my face, there should be a black control bar that comes up somewhere on the screen. Do you see an icon that looks like a video camera?
No.
What do you see?
So a video icon should be on a black somewhere. View option, let's see.
Go to the 3 white dots on the blue square. It's on there as well.
Yes, I did, but it doesn't show. It show only mute or rename.
Not stop video.
No, she wants to start her own video, not stop my video. She wants to start her. You want to start your own video, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you can do that from the 3 dots in the right-hand corner at the top.
I know, but there's no option.
Ah, right. Okay.
So she's on a Mac, so that's going to be, and I don't see that do you have a camera? Because I don't see that you have a camera in your
Oh,
account.
I thought I do.
I'm on a Mac as well. It's just-
Oh, okay.
I
Maybe
don't
that's
see,
the whole problem.
I don't see a
I see.
camera.
Okay, so
I don't see a camera.
Okay, I thought I do have it. I see.
All
That is
right.
the problem. So I
Okay.
just have to get the one that with the camera.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
that's over. Thank you.
All right. All right. So let me ask, are there any other questions regarding technology, regarding contests, regarding anything else? I'm looking at my chat once again.
Hey, Narayan.
Yes.
Dave
Hey, oh,
Chase.
yeah, Dave, you had your hand up too.
I did.
Yeah, go.
Timing. When are we going to know the dates and times of the area contests? Because you made me a little nervous by saying the area contest might happen at the same time. I'm not sure how. I mean, I need to see the dates before I decide which area I want to compete in, which contest. So
Yes,
when
Dave,
will we know that?
Everything is going to hinge on how well we are doing on Saturday. This is the first pilot test of an online contest. Once we complete this contest successfully, then we'll have a little bit more of a certainty as to that we can do a good job of online contests. And once we do that, the area and division directors have to sit down once again, and especially those contests that got missed from last Saturday, from this week, and this Saturday, they are going to have to reschedule the contest. And once they reschedule the contest, I don't know personally how long it will take them to reschedule the contest. It is not like they have to go find a different time at a library or something. They just have to figure out when is the best time so they are not stepping on each other's toes or something like that. So I am hoping that in pretty short order, we will be able to get new dates from all area directors and division directors. And if there are any area directors or division directors in this phone call, I hope you're listening to this, that make sure that once we figure out the Saturday, we work out the kinks on how it works, that you are able to go ahead and put up new dates for your area contest and let your contestants know, because I kind of understand where Dave Chase is coming from. When you belong to multiple clubs, you have to decide which club you're going to compete from on an area contest. So it is good to know as soon as possible. So if you're an area director on this call, be already planning as to when your area contest will be, so that once we successfully test out the Area 61, 64 contest on Saturday morning, then we can pretty much, by the end of the day or something, update all the contest dates in the calendar. That's my hope. But again, we'll see to try to make it done by the end of this weekend, if not Saturday itself. I will hope that by Sunday of this weekend, we will be able to tell you what the new dates of the contests are. Since they're all going to be online, we just have to make sure that we get that done. Hope that answers your question, Dave. Chiharu, you had your hand up. Hopefully I can unmute you.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
go
have a
ahead,
question.
Chiharu.
Okay.
Yes.
My question is how close I can get to the camera. So, my speech will involve whole body movement. So I want to make sure that my camera capture my whole body. But at the same time, when I use the prop, I want to make sure the audience can have a clear view of the prop.
So here's some example, right? We showed you this example on the right-hand side that you can see the example. You can do what the first gentleman did and stand he's standing for at least 3 or 4 feet away from the webcam. So, and you can look at Aaron Beverly's, how the camera is focused on Aaron Beverly. So you will be able to see his face and his gestures. So, and if you want to move back and front to the camera, you can do that too. As long as the camera is set up, you should be able to move a little bit backwards, a little bit forward, a little bit side. So you have to practice with your own webcam to see how far is the range that you can go to.
Okay.
You really don't want to have the laptop here and you're at the other end of the room, so we can't really see anything of yours. But at the same time, we don't want you to be looking like that either, right on the face. So we only see your eyes or something like that. You don't want to do either of those. You want to be at a reasonable distance so we can see your face, and especially if your face is well lit, then we will be able to see your face and your expressions. And if you're having gestures, you want to move a little bit back so you can see the gestures, and give the judges enough to judge you with. That's the main part of the contest. So,
okay, thank you.
you're welcome. Are there anybody else who had your hand up?
Yeah, just, I don't know, can you, how are we going to be able to see how we look when we speak?
Can you see yourself now?
Well, a little bit, but just now I couldn't see my hand when I was waving to you.
So one of the things that you might want to do is when you're practicing, practice with the webcam to see how you look. And most area contests will have the time to have a trial run the night before or the day before. So you should be able to attend that and watch yourself, and then you can record yourself as well. It's the same thing when you're practicing in front of a video camera. You're setting yourself on a speaking area and everything else, and as long as you stick to that, and then you look at the camera, like the YouTube video said, make sure you're looking at the camera and not looking down at whoever you're seeing on the screen. You should be looking straight at the eye of the camera, the lens of the camera, so that you come across that you're making eye contact with people instead of looking down here and doing something else, and so people don't see you. So you want to make sure you're looking straight at the camera. And if you can do that, it takes a little bit of practicing to do, so that especially now, Andrea, I'm seeing you look up somewhere. You're looking up somewhere like that, right?
Is this better? Because
you're still looking up somewhere.
Oh man.
So look down at where the camera lens is.
Look down at the camera.
Yeah, look at the lens of the camera.
Okay. Because I tried to put the background and I lost my picture. And the picture I put on it, it was flickering.
And if anybody doesn't know where the camera eye is, try to move your hand until you finally figure out, okay, there's my camera eye. And you look right at that point. When you're speaking, you look at that
Because I was
point.
looking at the picture.
Yeah,
Like
but
where I can see all each of you.
Yeah, that's the mistake we make when we are doing online meetings. We try to look at the video. The etiquette of online meetings is when you are speaking, you look at the camera. When you are speaking, I look down at you. But when I start speaking, I look at the camera.
Ah.
So that way, everybody who's speaking makes eye contact to the other person. Right? So when you're speaking, I will look down at you. But when I'm speaking, I will look straight to the camera.
Okay.
So that it feels like I'm looking at you.
Okay, and you said to play with the camera. How is that like an app on here? The camera itself?
Well, I can move the cam. I'm just talking about moving the angle and moving the thing. But one of the things that also says is that put your laptop on don't put it so high that you're looking down at it, or don't put it so low that you're looking down at it. Keep it at eye length. So if you're standing up, your laptop maybe needs to sit on a cardboard box or something, so that it is at almost eye level to you, so that you can stand and you can speak. And you have to have somebody in your house or somebody help you set up your laptop or your desktop or your webcam, so that it is at the right level for you. That will actually showcase you well.
Okay. Yeah, I just thought maybe it was some way you're supposed to adjust the angle, the lens, like you do in cameras, the wide lens, panoramic, or something.
Well, no, I'm just talking about when I say play with the camera, I'm talking about play with the angles, play with putting the laptop at a certain place. Like one of the things that the YouTube video said, don't put it so that there's a window behind you that streams light onto the thing, so you look like you're behind a halo or something.
Yeah.
Make sure that the window is behind the camera, so the light is coming on your face. One of the other ideas that I've seen is use a table lamp behind the laptop and have the table lamp put the light on your face.
Oh.
If you do that, then that will also help you be framed better in your light. like I know there's somebody in there, some of the people that I can see right now, some of you are really in the dark. For example, if I may pick on you, Witherspoon, you are completely in the dark. You don't want to look that way when you're, I know he's saying something, I'm sorry. Let me unmute you. Yeah.
Yes, yes, I am.
Yeah, I mean, but again, so if you're a speaker at a contest, you want to have light on your face. That's all I'm saying. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pick on you. I was just pointing
No,
out.
I get it. You're okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, will the speaker have a moment to ping the timer so they can remember the time issue?
Speaker will, well, what do you mean by ping the timer?
Pin, P-I-N, right?
Oh, pin the timer. Yeah, you should pin the timer just before it is your turn to go. You know, you'll have the one, if you're the speaker number 2, there's going to be 1 minute of silence before the time you come on. During that 1 minute of silence, I would go, one of the things that we want to do is we're going to ask the timer to rename themselves, or we'll have the.
That's what I was, okay.
So I'm going to show you how I can rename myself to be timer. I'm going to call myself timer, so that when you look for it, you don't know who the timer is. You're going to see timer.
So the individual does that, not the host.
The host can do that. I can change your name. Here, what do you want to be called, Andrea? I can call you. I can call you Grand Poobah now.
Okay.
So as a host, one of the things we will do is we will change the name of the timer, we'll change the name of the chief judge, we'll change the name of the contest master, so that you will know who those people are. I think that would be helpful. Okay, that's a point I will take down so that I can remember to put that. Change name of timer. Okay, I will make sure I get that in the instructions.
Narayan, if the timer is pinned, then can you not see yourself on the screen then? If it's full screen?
So here's what I would suggest you do. I'm going to stop sharing. Travis, pin me and see what happens. Can you see yourself or not?
Yeah, it's small though.
Yeah, but then when you speak, you will become bigger. If you go to speaker view, and you keep yourself as bigger, and then you can pin the timer. The timer's video will be on the top, and then your face will still be in the front. Try that out.
Where's the speaker mode? How do you do that?
When you have the gallery view, which is everybody's video, on the top right, you'll see a toggle between gallery view and speaker view.
I see.
Yeah. If you go to speaker view, whoever speaks, whoever makes a noise, becomes the front on your camera.
So your suggestion would be to have the timer as the big here, and then your speaking photo would be there, or video would be there.
On the side, yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Speaker view and then the timer pinned.
Did you have to say something? You suddenly chimed in. That's why I'm.
Well, I was going to suggest, Narayan, that you were going to read the guidelines that was offered by TI that asked all participants to mute their video.
Yeah, I was also going to talk about that. That's the other thing that in this guideline, which is also on the online speak contest exception, the guideline says on where is that?
So you know you're no longer sharing your screen?
I am. Oh, I should be sharing my screen. I'm not sharing my screen. I'm not sharing my screen. Oh, great. Okay. All right. On the online speaker, it basically says that audience members are not required to have their webcams or microphones, and during the contest, all audience members will mute their microphones and turn off their webcams while a contestant is speaking. Which means that if you're just there to watch the video thing, watch the contest, or even if you are just judging the contest or a vote counter or something like that, anybody who is not a speaker or a timer should have their webcams off and their microphones on mute. One of the things that the Zoom host is able to do is I can immediately mute all by hitting one button, but I cannot do that with your video. I have to go individually and stop your video, and that takes a lot of time. So the request will be made before the contest begins that please stop your video if you are not a timer or a contestant.
Right. And what I was going to suggest, Narayan, is that if everybody mutes their video and you go to hide participants that are not sharing video, the contestants, you can spotlight and put the contestants on the big screen and only allow the timer to have their video turned on. So the only small screen that Travis was referring to would be that of the timer.
Oh, that is good. That's a good idea. So one of the things the host can do is hide all non-video participants, which means that everybody will have their videos off and everybody will go away except the timer and the contestant. You are correct. That's a good idea to do.
Would that be when the individual speaker is speaking or the whole meeting?
No, that would be when the individual speaker is speaking. And for the audience members, for the whole meeting, we don't need to see just your title of just your name. So right now I just see Nicola Willis Jones. I don't see her video. So if I hide all non-video participants, all those people will go away. And if you're just there to watch and enjoy the contest, you don't need to have your video on or your audio on.
Yeah.
The only time you'll have the audio on is at the end during the speaker interviews. We will unmute all the people. So when people clap, you'll be able to see the clap. The contestants will be able to hear people applaud. The main purpose is just like in a contest setting when we don't want extraneous interruptions to a contest speech. We don't want that same thing to happen in electronically. So there are times when you may get up and go to the bathroom while some contestant is performing, and we don't want to hear you flush, right? At the same time, we don't want to, if there's a dog coming in or a child coming in the middle and doing something like this, you don't want that to interrupt the contestant's concentration. So we want to make sure that we get everybody's video off, except for the contestant and the timer. And all those things we're going to test on Saturday morning. And if there's any glitches, we will learn the lesson. And once we learn the lesson, then we can create what we should do and what we should not do, what to watch out for, so that future contests will just get that much better.
Hey,
So that's
Narayan.
the whole, yes.
So the person who's going to be the contest master,
Yeah.
are they going to be speaking with no video the whole time?
No,
So they're just a voice in the...
No, we will have the video at the start of the contest. When the contest master has the chance, they will introduce the contestant by name, title, name. We will have the video on, and then they will stop the video.
Okay.
And then once the contest is done, once the speech is done, the contestant says, Madam Contest Master, they will turn on their video and go, okay, 1 minute of silence. And everybody will shut up for a minute, and then the contest master will say, next contestant, name, title, name, and then we will shut the video. That's the protocol.
Narayan,
Yes, Amy?
it's Shu.
Oh, Shu, sorry, Shu. You sound like Amy Brenner.
I do. Amy, we're twins. I know she's on here. I know she's on here.
Yeah, she's on here. Yeah.
She's on here. I have a question for you. I'm a contest master. Are you, as the host, are you going to be handling all these technical things behind?
Yes. Every contest will have, we have what we call a Zoom online task force that has been formed. And let me see if I can pull up the names of that. Yeah, here we go. I missed it. These are the names of the people who are on the Zoom online task force. One of these people, or maybe more than one of these people, will be there at every contest.
Okay. So
They will be working with each one of the area contests, area directors to help the contest master, the chief judge, so on and so forth. And I am always available. And one of the things that I'm asking Mr. Brendan Ford to set up is an email address, which is going to be called onlinecontests@tmd29.org. So if you have any questions, you have any requests, you can send it to me, and I will make sure that it gets handled
I
to
have
the
a
best of
question.
my ability. Yes.
Yes. My question is there going to be a separate camera on the timer?
The camera, the timer will have his own
Camera.
webcam, his or her own webcam, and that webcam will be on all the time, as opposed to other contestants. So when the time comes, it's going to go green card.
Okay.
Well, it'll not just be a green card; it'll have a little G written on it.
Okay.
Because some webcams, when you do this, they will auto adjust, and it no longer looks like a green. So they will have a G on it that says it's green, and then when it comes yellow, they'll turn it to say yellow, and then they'll keep it on. So if you're a contestant and you pin the video of the timer and everybody else's video is gone, you'll only see yourself and the timer's video on the top of your screen. So that when you're speaking, you'll be able to see the lights. At least that's how other districts do it, and they basically go red card.
I see.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say,
Narayan?
oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
I just wanted to say how, this sounds a little gratuitous, but how proud I am of Toastmasters for working through this. I'm also a professional speaker, and there have been so many things that have been canceled. They haven't even thought of doing it this way. So it's just really great that we're still going on with the show.
Thank you.
Ryan?
Yes, sir.
I was going to ask you to educate everyone on how to mute their video.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
we got a few participants like Lou and Diane and looks like Kent that are covering their cameras where they can mute their cameras instead of just covering the camera.
I'm trying to see if I can find who they are.
And now Sherry's covering her camera.
No, you don't have to cover your camera. If you go to the bottom of when you move your cursor on the screen, you should have a control bar that comes in the bottom. On the far, I actually showed you this in my speech. Where's that? You can see that in the bottom of your screen, you will get a bar, just like in the bottom, you'll have this bar. And in this bar, you will have the mute, unmute, and stop and start and stop video. So you can press on the stop video button, and then a red line will come on it, and your video will no longer be seen. So if I go to that bottom part of my screen, I can stop my video. So I can go into bottom of my screen and go stop video, and my video goes away. And then I can come back and I can hit start video, and my video is back.
Narayan,
Yes, Gwen.
when I pinned myself to play timer earlier, I couldn't see anybody.
Well, you should be, when you pin your own video, that's all you will see.
Is yourself.
Yeah, because you will see the video that you pinned.
So you can only pin one video at a time.
You can only pin one video at a time. You can't just select, I want to see, this pretty face and that pretty face. I don't want to see Narayan's ugly mug. So you can't select on who you want to see.
Right. But what I'm saying is then the timer, once they use the green card, they're not going to be able to see any more of the speech.
No, they can see the speech, because once they have, that's one of the issues that we got to think about. See, as a timer, if I do this, I can still see the screen. I am no longer seen, but I can see the screen.
Oh, I couldn't.
Unless you do this. If you do it right by the camera, where the camera of the laptop is, I can still see most of the screen.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Narayan, can we get your presentation by email? Just
Yes,
a
ma'am.
copy of it? Thank you, sir.
It will not go by email, but it will be on the district's web page. I will show you
Okay.
where it will be. It is going to be in the same place where yesterday's websites went. So let me go to the web page. And if you go to the district page, right? You go to the district home page.
Okay.
I hope you can see my screen.
Yes.
Yeah, well, let's see. Let's wait for the, you see this district online resources, online speech contest. If you click on here, the online speech contest, this is where you have the video from yesterday for judging on the online
Right.
speech contest. And tomorrow you will have the video and the presentation for the online, this particular meeting. So this is basically what it tells you, where to go, what to click on, and so on. And
Okay,
another
thank
thing, while I'm here in the calendar,
Yes.
eventually every area contest will be listed and you'll just be able to click on it, just like you are able to click on the contestants today's meeting, and you are
Right.
able to click on the Zoom meeting. You will be able to
Right.
do the same thing for all area contests.
That's
Once we get that put in. It's not there yet, but once we get that put in, we'll be able to see that.
And the paper that you said that we have to sign for the speakers, I did not start with you guys from the beginning. Can you just please walk me through the steps so I can make sure to send mine?
You should be receiving the speaker's bio and the speaker's certification of eligibility by email.
Ah, by email, okay.
And if you don't get it by email, then you go to the district website and you go down to events and click on contests and click on contest kits. And then it will bring you to this page where you can click on the International Speech Contest Kit, or if you're competing in Tall Tales, click on the Tall Tales Kit. It will take you to the international website. And then you want to click right here where it says a digital version is available here. You want to click that and it will take you down to it will download a zip file. And in the zip file, you're going to find all of these forms, contest forms. And you want to download contest form number 1183, which is speaker certification of eligibility and originality, and 1189, which is the contestant bio.
Got you. Thank you so much.
All right. So at this point, we're close to 8 o'clock. What I want to do is I want to conduct the contest briefing. Are there contestants from Saturday's Area 61-64 contest? If you're there, would you please raise your hand? And Cheryl, I'm getting to you. You have a couple of people who are there. When I say raise your hand, you can raise your hand on the computer. So thank you. I see a few people.
I don't have my video on, sorry.
No worries. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick briefing. Your contest master on Saturday morning is just going to draw for position. And after that is done, you will be considered briefed just for this one contest. Before I get there, another question was, do we still recognize Toastmaster dignitaries? Yes. The area director should still follow the protocol list. It is going to be a little bit challenging because you're going to have to sign off on the protocol list yourself. You can't just pass it off to somebody else to do. So you're going to have to watch who is signing on to your meeting and then go who's on the protocol. Or if you decide you don't want to do the protocol, I think that should be fine as well.
Who do we send the eligibility form and the bio to? Is it the
To your contest Toastmaster.
master?
Your contest master
Okay.
needs to get the eligibility form and the speaker's bio. The
Okay.
chief judge gets the eligibility form for the judges.
Okay, but we send both to the contest master?
You send both to the contest master because the contest master will ensure that you're eligible to compete and you sign the originality, certificate of originality, and then they will use your bio form to do the interview for you.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Cheryl, what was your question? You had a question? No question? Okay. All right. Cheryl is sitting upstairs, so I don't, so I can't see I can only see her through video like everybody else. Okay. To be eligible to compete in your contest, it says evaluation contest, but it's supposed to be Tall Tales and International Contest. You must be a paid member of a club in the area, division, or district in which you are competing. And your club must also be in good standing. Remember that even though Toastmasters has extended the time frame of the club's dues to the end of April, you want to make sure that your dues are paid up. And your club, at least 8 people have submitted their dues. Toastmasters, you're a member in more than one club and who meet all other eligibility requirements are permitted to compete in each club contest. So you can technically compete in as many club contests as clubs as you belong to, but you can only compete from one area. You must prepare your own speech, and they must be substantially original, which means that 25% or less of the speech may be devoted to quoting, paraphrasing, or referencing somebody else's content. And any quoted, paraphrased, or referenced content must be identified during the presentation. You should provide the titles of your speeches to the contest master. And if you're wearing a badge or something that says big DTM or something like that, it is requested that you remove the identifying badges or your club name or something like that. If you're going to use props for your speech, you want to make sure that you can set up your props and everything during that 1 minute of silence. And you are responsible for setting up and taking down your props. But then, of course, if you're at your own location, after you're done, you can just turn off your webcam, and nobody cares if you don't take off the props or not. All contestants are permitted to remain in the room during the contest. Contestants will draw for speaking order, and the contest toastmaster shall come up with a way of drawing for speaking order. One of the preferred ways of drawing for speaking order is that the contest master writes down a number from 1 to 100 on his piece of paper, and then he says, okay, every one of you give me a number, and whoever comes closest to that written number becomes first place, first position, second position, and so on. That's one way of doing that. But the contest toastmaster can come up with all kinds of creative ways to figure out who goes first, who goes second, and so on. And since there's going to be 2 different area contests going on at the same time, you will draw for speaking position for each area separately. The contest master will verify the pronunciation of the contest names and so on. And then they will be introduced during the contest with their name, speech title, and their name. Contest will not be shown the speaking area, basically because you're going to have the speaking area in your house that we just talked about at length today. The contest master will have the timer demonstrate how the cards are going to be shown. So it's going to be green, and the green's going to last there until the green is over. Then the timer is going to change it to a yellow, and it's going to hold up the yellow until the yellow is over. And then the timer will turn it to the red, and the red will stay on until you finish. So that's the standard thing, and the contest master will let you see how the timer does that. And then timing will begin with your first verbal or non-verbal communication with the audience. Of course, protests are limited to eligibility and originality and can only be done by voting judges and or contestants. And any protest shall be lodged with the chief judge and or contest chair. And the way you lodge a protest is you chat privately to the contest master or the chief judge, and then you basically say, I have a protest. And when you have a protest, the chief judge will take all the judges into a breakout room, and they will do what they do. And if you are a contestant and you protest somebody else's originality, you will be invited into the breakout room, and you will be given a chance to defend yourself. And then the judges will vote. And then after that, the judges' decision is final. And if a contestant is absent from the briefing, an alternate speaker is permitted to attend the briefing in place of the primary contestant. That's not really true for us today. And if a contestant is not present and the contest chair is introduced, then the primary contestant is disqualified, and the alternate officially becomes the contestant. Should the primary contestant arrive after the briefing, but before the person conducting the contest is introduced, the primary contestant is permitted to compete, providing they report to the contest chair, they have all the required paperwork, and they waive the opportunity for a briefing. Are there any questions on this contestant briefing? And if you're a contestant, this is the time to ask any questions.
You might have mentioned this, but I believe you have to have 6 speeches already done to compete in the international speech.
Only for the international speech. For the Tall Tales, you just have to be a member in good standing.
Right.
Any other question? I'm just personally, I would like to rather see the audience rather than just my face. Won't be able to see or hear reactions, but maybe see the reactions. No, but we're not going to do that. I'm sorry, Cheryl. That's not going to happen.
You know, Ryan, I need some names to make sure we've got all of our contestants briefing. There's somebody raised their hand, says iPad 5. I can't tell who that is.
Who is iPad 5?
Hi, can you hear me? Hello?
Hi, iPad. Is that Shom?
Yeah, this is Sangam. Can you hear me
Sangam.
okay?
Sangam. So let me rename you. I can hear
Yeah,
you.
please.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
What's your last name?
It's Pulikut, Pulikkut.
Okay. All right. I just renamed him Kimberly.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Narayan.
Any other questions?
I'm also one of the contestants.
Who was that? Asit Nayak?
Yes.
Once again, would you all, if you're a contestant, once again, please raise your hand so I can tell you who they are. And you can say, when I say raise your hand, I mean raise your hand. If you go to your participants, manage participants, you should have a button at the bottom where there's a hand that you can raise. So Gina, are you competing on Saturday? Kai Nguyen, Michelle Valley, you're all competing on Saturday?
Oh, yes.
No,
Sat-
the following Saturday.
I'm talking about only people who are competing on Area 61, 64 contest this coming Saturday. If you're not, lower your hand.
And Ryan, I think I've got them all. I was just looking for Kent. I think is the last one I haven't seen his name somewhere. So unless he's called in by his phone.
There's a Kent and Mila Washburn. Is that who you're looking for? Kent Washburn?
Yep, that's who I'm looking for. That's the last one. Okay, so I have all the contestants that I know that are supposed to compete. I've been briefed.
All right, good. And on Saturday morning, the contest master can do a draw for position. Just like I said, the best way to draw for position is to write down a number between 1 to 100 for the contest master, and each contestant gives a number, sends in a chat the number, and then you pick whoever comes closest to the number that the contest master picked goes first and second and third and so on.
Can we look view another area's contest even though we're in that area?
Oh yeah, of course. Every contest, the link to the Zoom meeting for that contest is going to be on the district calendar.
Ah, okay.
So you go to the district calendar, and whatever date it is, you go to the time and click on their Zoom link, and you should be able to attend their contest.
That's fantastic. Great. Thank you.
Whoever is having children in the background, please mute yourself. Anyway, I muted all anyway. So as the host, I can mute. I got that awesome power of muting everybody down. So, all right, Cheryl is yelling, talk about breakout rooms. As a contestant, you should never have to worry about breakout rooms at all. But I'm going to give you a quick view into breakout rooms. What a breakout room is a room that have a few of the people from the main room can be invited to go to a separate room called the breakout room, where they can actually have whatever they want to talk about, and that will be silent to the rest of the people. Before I get there, Lynn Thomas, you had your hand up.
Yes, I'm competing on Saturday.
Yeah, okay, got it. Thank you. Andrea Reed, you had a hand up. Andrea?
Yeah, I'm unmuted. Yeah. Unmuted.
Well, let me unmute you. We are both trying to unmute ourselves. So.
Sorry.
Yes. Andrea, you had any question?
I think you answered it for the most part.
Okay. All right. So now what I'm going to talk about breakout rooms is it's a separate room that the host can set up. And usually the judges and the timers and ballot counters will use that room to go count ballots and things like that. But as a contestant, you shouldn't have to worry about unless there's a protest of originality and you have to make the protest to the judges, then in which case you will be invited to a breakout room. So I'm going to create a breakout room at this point. and I'm going to call it Judges Lounge. And I'm going to assign a few people. And the moment I assign these people and you're able to join that room, you will automatically be taken out of the main room and you'll go into the breakout room, and then you'll be able to talk amongst yourselves and you can do little whatever things you want with yourself. I'm just picking people from at random. I'm just picking some people so that what will happen is once I open all the rooms, you will automatically be gone from the main room and you will go into the other room and you will have your whatever you want to do on the side. I know a few people went over to the other room. You will get an invitation saying, hi, you've been invited to join this breakout room. And then you can go to that room and then you can have a chance to play around in there, talk to people, and you can chat in private and nobody will be able to hear. So I'm going to close that breakout room at this point so that they're not forced to sit there amongst themselves. I will bring them back from the
I
breakout room.
believe you can individually come back from the breakout room too.
Each person has the capability to leave the breakout room on their own, but as a host, I have an authority to just close the room and they'll be forced to join the main room once the
Right.
in 35 seconds. It takes a minute. I can change the time to say I can close the breakout room in 10 seconds or I can close the breakout room in 1 minute. At this point, I have closed the breakout room. It is in 23 seconds. It's going to be, there are a few people that I put over to the other room. They're all going to be coming back to our main room in 15. Yeah, so most of the people have come out except for Afaf Campbell, who I sent out to the breakout room. I think she's still waiting there, waiting for somebody to figure out what's going on. So in 1 second, she should be back in the main room.
Narayan, this is Amy.
Hi, Amy.
I came back early because I wanted to hear what everybody was saying about us behind our backs.
Yeah, we were talking about you behind your back. There you go. And Afaf, did you have a chance to? Afaf, I hope you had a chance to come back out of the breakout room before the breakout room closed. So, I see that you're back. So
Yes, I did. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
All right.
That was fun.
Yeah, so essentially what will happen is if you're a contestant and you have a protest, you will be invited to the judges' breakout room, and then you'll be able to present your case and we will kick you out of the breakout room.
Okay.
And then the judges will discuss amongst themselves and they will have to vote to decide whether to accept the protest or not. And so all those things will go on as we go. Sangam, you had a question?
Yeah, so Narayan, I do see a timer's screen button on at least on my side on the iPad on the left bottom. Maybe it will help for our Zoom sessions. Do you know what that does, or?
I don't know what timer you're seeing. I changed my name to timer, so you're probably
Yes.
seeing that. My name is not timer. I just changed
Oh,
it.
okay, makes sense.
Yeah, I
Never
can
mind.
change that. Yeah, I can change that back to my. I was just pointing out to say that whoever is the timer, we will put in capital saying this person is the timer, and whoever is the ballot counter, we will put their name against their name. We will put ballot counter. So at least the chief judge will also know who her ballot counters are. Jennifer Ryan, I hope you're listening. So we will make
Okay.
sure that we'll do that.
Okay, in that case, let me ask you, Jennifer, if we are coordinating and setting up a session for Toastmasters, is there anything specific the timer needs to do?
No, the timer is going to be the same thing just as before. The timer will still time the speeches from when the speech starts, and they will show the timing cards when the time comes.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay, there's nothing on the screen or anything like that, right?
If you are going to be the timer for the contest, we will change your name to Sangam and put the word timer next to you, so that whoever is looking will know that you are the timer.
Oh, I see. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
The
So
host can
sometimes-
do it basically.
Yes, the host can do it for you. I can go in and I can change your name, and I can go. It's not Sangam. His name is. I can change your name.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a quick question. I looked on the website. I didn't see any contest for this Saturday, but I believe you said there was one.
there is one, and that one is not on the contest because this one is a so-called pilot contest. We are trying to see Area 61 and 64 graciously have agreed to be the guinea pigs for this. They're going to get their contestant to contest will be on Saturday morning. Kimberly, remind me the time. Does it start at 8:30 or 9 or what time?
Starts at 9. Setup starts at 9, and we'll start the contest at 9:30. So, and it is on the district website. I just got the email from Davin just a little bit ago.
Okay.
So that is actually on the district website now with the Zoom link.
Okay. So let me see if we can ensure that happens. So if we go to the district website and we refresh the screen, ta-da, there it is. Area 61 and 64 Zoom speech contest.
Where are you located? Where are you looking at on the website? Because I don't see it.
You don't see that I'm sharing my screen. Can you see this? If you go to the district.
Oh, it's on a calendar. Okay, so it's not under events. Events
it is under events calendar.
Events calendar. Okay, so it's not contests. Okay.
No.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. And right there is the contest. All right, at this point, I have to ask, is there anything else that we need to go? Oh, hold on, 1 minute. Let me make sure I'm still sharing my screen again. So contest briefing, we are going to go through all that. During the contest, audience members are not required to have their webcam and microphones. All audience members will mute their microphones and turn off their webcams. And if the technology fails, we talked about this before, and the chief judge determines the contest can no longer continue, the contest will be reconvened at a later date. And if the technology fails and only one contestant is impacted, the chief judge should pause the contest until the technology issue is resolved. The contestant should resume their speech at the point at which the technology failed and be allowed 30 seconds extra overtime. At the end of the contest Toastmaster will call for silence, during which the judges can mark the ballots and turn them in electronically to the ballot counter. This will happen in a breakout room that will be set up for the purpose. And when the ballots are being counted, the contest Toastmaster will interview the contestants. The contest Toastmaster will display the certificate of participation for each contestant. When all contestants are complete, the contest Toastmaster will call for applause, and the Zoom host will unmute all for the audience applause. And then they return control to the area director or the division director, who will make their remarks, acknowledgements, and so on, by which time chief judge would have transmitted their results to the area director. And what they will do is we have a PowerPoint file that we have set up for the area directors with the third place certificate, second place certificate, and first place certificate. And they will share their screen and show that. And then Sergeant at Arms will adjourn, and then people may choose to linger if they want to. So one of the other rules was that if you're chatting with people, don't try to send chats to everyone unless there's something you have to share with everyone. Just click on one person that you want to share with and have a private conversation, so that try not to disrupt the main meeting. And this is typically what the sign the card should look like. Should have a green in the middle, a yellow, and a red, and so on. Do I see any chats at this point that people? I have a few people who raised their hands. I see Karen. Wait, let me start with Karen Booker. You had a question?
Yes. Area 71 and 72 had planned a joint contest. It was to have taken place this past Saturday and had to be postponed. Do we have to stay together now?
No. No. All bets are off that way. So if you want to do separate contests, you're welcome to do separate contests.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. We have enough Zoom licenses that we should be able to have 7 or 8 contests going on simultaneously.
Okay.
Almost everyone on the Zoom online task force has our own Zoom Pro account that we will be bringing in to bear for the area contest. So every area contest will have somebody from the Zoom online task force be your Zoom host.
Thank you.
All right. David Kirsten.
Yes, I was curious on a situation if you do have a video issue. If who makes the call to stop?
Chief judge.
Okay, and they'll just holler stop or.
That is correct. They will come on screen and they basically say, "Stop! We are stopping the contest because technology is not permitting, and this contestant needs to figure out the technology issue, and the contest will be on pause until that technology issue is fixed. And once they're confident that the technology issue has been handled, the contestant will be requested to continue from the point where they had the technology issue."
I see.
That's what the rules state at this point.
I see. And if I may, I know it's really probably a question for the district at this point for that competition, but will the break rooms be used for the evaluation contest?
Well, at the time of the evaluation contest, we have not yet decided whether we are still going to have the evaluation and the table topics contest at the district level, but most probably yes. There's more. The district conference committee is still working on that. But if we do have that, we will have breakout rooms for the evaluation contestants to go sit in. And similarly, for the table topics, we will send them all to the breakout room and bring them in one at a time. So yeah, we have to figure out that protocol for those other two contests. I am not worrying about it at this point. Right now, I'm worried mainly about these two contests. Cheryl, I'm coming to you, but Amy had her hand up.
I just had a quick request. If you have a role in the contest, either as a contestant or a judge or a ballot counter, please try to log in as close to 9 a.m. as possible. The license comes with 100 participants. We have 71 participants on this call. If we're lucky, we'll have a problem and have more people who want to watch the contest as we have, and then maybe we'll dial in with another Zoom call and do some sort of link. But for this first one, if you have a role in the contest, please call in as connect as early to 9 o'clock as you can.
Thank you, Amy. Jennifer Ryan, Chief Judge.
I was just noticing there's a thing called reactions on the bottom where you can do clapping.
Yeah.
You see that? I do
see that. Yeah.
Do we want to do that?
If you want to.
Or thumbs up? It might distract the contestants. Well, they wouldn't have us shown. Is that?
No, they wouldn't have it shown. It'll just show up in the participants list. So not a big deal.
I'm seeing it. Yeah. I'm seeing people doing it now. So I think Cheryl was asking about that she would like to see the reactions of the members of the audience, but
yeah,
the rule saying
that might be one way of doing it. Okay, Cheryl, what's your question? You're muted. Unmute yourself.
Are you recommending that contestants sit or stand, or is it up to us?
Yes.
Yes, what?
That was a great answer, Ryan.
So yeah, I have no preference on it. Toastmasters has no preference on it. And like I shared during one of my, during the PowerPoint presentation, that if you see that they had people who there was, here's the one person who stood, here's the one person, the second person, the African-American gentleman sat down the entire speech contest, and this lady stood, but not as far away as the first contestant. So it's up to you. I would recommend whatever works for you, however you practice. Here's the key though, as a contestant, you should now be changing your practice, because you're no longer just giving a speech in front of a live audience, but you're in front of a webcam audience. So you should be like Andy Vanderhoof is standing there, but only half his, I can only see one arm of his. Oh, there you go. Andy sat down now. So Andy figured this out. The other day, he gave a speech at TBA Toastmasters, and he did it pretty well. So Andy, I think you figured out the way to do that. One of the things I would recommend, Mr. Andy Vanderhoof, is that you have windows behind you. If it's a daytime contest and the sun is streaming, we will not see your face. Andy
give it from my office. I'll give it from my office, which
There
has
we
a
go.
flat wall in the background.
Oh, there
And
we
I'll
go.
remove that horrible artwork that I paid a lot of money for.
But then you can change your background too, so not a problem. Anybody else have? Yes, Afaf.
Yeah. Can you please tell me where is this hand, raising hand, so I don't take anybody's spot?
If you look on the bottom of your, I think you go to manage participants, right? Cheryl, you're pointing down. Go down.
Okay, I am down here, but then I see mute video.
It's under
invite.
reactions.
It's under reactions.
Okay, so click on reaction. I see the hand, the clapping hand.
There's a hand and a thing like this, and then if you go under participants, then that's where the hand raising thing
Raising hand
happens.
is under participants.
I found that today.
Yeah. Ken Matos. Ken, you can unmute yourself, sir.
Alrighty, thank you. Quick question. As far as the time when the speaker is getting ready to speak, generally is the first gesture or the first, I guess, sound.
Verbal or non-verbal indication.
Right. I could picture, not that it'll happen, but you never know. I could picture someone going towards their mouse or going towards their laptop and says, oh, wait a second, I didn't mean to start yet.
Yeah.
But that's when it starts, the minute they move, right?
Yeah. I mean, also, use a little bit, that the timer will use a little bit of judgment on that. If you just reached out for the mouse, that's probably not the start of the speech. But if you reached out to say that might be a start of the speech.
Hey, Narayan, doesn't the rule say attempt to communicate? Narayan,
What?
Isn't the rule an attempt to communicate?
Yes, it's an attempt
to communicate.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Attempt to communicate, not a fumble with the camera. I mean, the timer should use it only if it's a gesture that is an attempt to communicate something.
Yeah, yeah. Frank, you had a question?
Yeah, I have a quick question. Actually, I was just testing out the hand waving, but I do have a question. I'm having it's a Zoom question as to how to regulate the volume. Is there a way to regulate the volume? Because my volume controls on my computer are not regulating anything.
Under the microphone button, you can test the speaker and microphone, and right below that there's something called audio settings. So if you see the microphone icon at the bottom of your screen,
yes,
where it says mute.
Yes.
To the right of it, there should be a caret symbol, a caret.
Yes.
Yeah. If you click on that, it'll let you.
Okay.
It'll let you. There should be a place that says test speaker and microphone. Then you go audio settings, and audio settings will take you to where you can test your microphone audio and everything else.
Okay. Well, I mean, the audio's working. It's just a regulation. I'll look into it. No problem.
Yeah, and Zoom can help. There's a lot of help tutorials on Zoom to help you with that as well. Andrea, you had your hand up. Andrea?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was I couldn't find the raised hand and everything. And so I just found it, and I guess I raised my hand then.
Oh, okay. All right.
Thank you, though.
All right. So
thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm going to sign off.
Okay. So I'm basically, I have pretty much now covered everything that I needed to cover. I just see the two participants raise their hand now. So Alex, tell me what's on your mind, sir. Alex, unmute yourself. You need to unmute yourself to be, go ahead.
Yeah, I missed what you said about the background. So instead of showing the house, you show a picture or something. How do you do that?
If you see on your bottom left where there's a video camera icon.
Mm-hmm.
And to the right of the video camera icon, there's a little caret symbol.
Mm-hmm.
If you click on the caret, you'll see an option to choose a virtual background.
Oh, okay.
And then you can choose whatever you want.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Lynn Thomas.
Yes, I had a question on the background. Is there any restriction on what can be in the background? I noticed the different contestants you showed had different backgrounds. Somebody had one,
Well,
somebody
the
had a
different contestants did not actually have different backgrounds. They were in different rooms. But
Right,
if you
right.
want,
But whatever you see at the back was different. So is there any restriction? Because there's also the rule about nothing should be identifying accomplishments and so forth. So is there any restriction if there's a bookshelf and
there is no real restriction at this point. So you can speak with a District 29 background. You can speak with a Toastmaster background. You can speak with a white background. You can speak with from the moon if you like, or you can change the message and you can speak from a beach. It's up to you wherever you want to speak, or you can speak with just the background that's in your room.
Right. So if you have a room background and there's a bookshelf and there are books there or whatever, is there any restriction on
No,
what
there is no. We will not put restrictions that are not in the Toastmaster rules, and there are no Toastmaster rules about the background. So
okay,
it's up
thank
to you. Dwight.
Yeah, now Ryan, I was going to suggest everybody seems to be wanting to play with the virtual background, and I would suggest not using that.
Yeah, because it sometimes, unless your background pictures in the right resolution, like for example, Alex Cheng, you can see that he has become semi-transparent.
Or Lex.
Or Lex, So you just want to be careful what you use in your background, and you want to practice it. Like Ken Matos looks completely weird. So be careful what you use in your background. So unless a lot of this has to do with your computer resolution, how many DPIs are on your screen and pixels, and way beyond my knowledge at this point. So use backgrounds, but use backgrounds in very careful consideration.
Right. Narayan, I would actually be stronger and suggest don't use virtual backgrounds.
Okay, I would recommend don't use virtual backgrounds.
Thank you.
All right. Dave Kirsten, question?
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
I just noticed that while you were talking about how you could find your audio settings and such,
yeah,
in the settings window itself, it gives a much larger self view. If you go under the video, that might be one way that you could go ahead and display yourself a little bit bigger, still having the timer there.
Yeah, you can do widescreen, original ratio. You can do all kinds of things on there. Yeah, so it's up to you to anything that Zoom allows you to do. Do it at your own risk. That's all I would say. Any further questions do we have? You're almost coming to the 2-hour mark, so I don't want to spend too much.
One last question for me.
Yes, Asaf.
Okay, so if I don't want to watch any of the contestants until my time, can I do that or not?
Figure out a way, and you can do that. Leave the room, go somewhere else and practice, and have your child remind you when it's your time. And if you're speaker number 4, have him watch it is his punishment. Have him watch 3 speeches. And then call you, Mom, come on over. So that might be a way to do it. The other way is to mute audio on your laptop speaker. You can just mute volume and you'll not hear anything, and you can practice again, up to you. As long as you're there when your name is called, you can do whatever you want.
Thank you.
Any final questions from anyone? I noticed that we had a peak of about 84 people attending, and about 63 of you are still here. So I really appreciate. Zohra, you have a comment or question? Unmute yourself, please.
Yeah, I have a question. I see this is being recorded. Where can we find the link to?
This recording will come on the district web page tomorrow morning. It takes a long time to render the video. It's a 2-hour video. It takes a long time to render. Zoom will actually render it on the cloud, and then I will pick it up, and then I have to post it on the district website. So tomorrow morning.
All right, thank you.
All right. Anybody else?
No.
I see that Clarion Braxton has a comment that says, hey, I think it's an opportunity to create a position in the district as a virtual trainer for contests and clubs. Oh, good point. Thank you, Clarion. We will think about it. I see Bethany has changed her name to first place in Tall Tales. That's thinking outside the box in the future, I guess. All right. Anybody else have any other comments? If not, thank you all for attending. Thank you all for being patient. Thank you all for, willing to test your foot in the waters and embark on a bright new future for District 29. We will have a great contest and talk to you all. Tomorrow is going to be the dry run for the contest. So if you want to attend that as well, we will plan the dry run. We'll have the dry run at 7 p.m. tomorrow evening. And then Saturday morning at 9 o'clock is when the actual contest will be run. And hopefully everything will go easy peasy and everything will be fun. And then we will all go for all the other area contests and division contests. And we will have a great contest season. And we will actually be the way showers for a lot of the districts in this region as well. So thank you all for attending, and I will see you all soon.
Kim and Leilani, can you stay on, please?
I'm going to stop recording anyway. So
thank you.